You're watching the KOA Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, we all enjoy getting that extra hour of sleep, but many Americans are getting tired of the back and forth. Get an inside look at what's keeping daylight savings time around.
Also, a group of runners come together to honor the loss of one of their own.
And we have an alert day today. Severe weather expected. Best chances afternoon. We'll have a look at that forecast and those storm chances coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOA Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 o'clock on this Monday, November the 4th. Thank you for joining us here. Of course, Election Day tomorrow. That's going to be the big news story. Today, severe weather, a big story. And we're going to break down the information on that with this. Severe weather happens anytime in the area, but the risk levels we have today are a little bit unusual for November. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But something else that happened over the weekend, and I completely forgot about.
Oh, did you know?
I did. You got to set your clocks back an hour.
Yes, get that extra hour, which is perfect for this week because we certainly need it. Springing forward, falling back. Many Americans are getting tired of the back and forth with the clocks every year.
But there's one major hang-up that's keeping it around. Fox's Matt Murphy explains.
As we change our clocks overnight, most of us won't complain about the extra hour of sleep. But for many, the twice-a-year ritual is feeling antiquated. A 2021 AP NORC poll found 3 out of 4 Americans favor ending the practice altogether. But there's no clear consensus about which one we should stick with.
This is not the most important issue before the Republic, but I do think people wonder, why do we keep doing this flipping back and forth on the time?
In 2022, Florida Senator Marco Rubio introduced a bill to have us stick with daylight saving time year-round. That's the one where we spring forward an hour ahead. The legislation passed the Senate but went nowhere in the House.
The reason why daylight savings makes sense is because you really can't do outdoor activities, especially for kids and children. If you're in a community whose parks don't have lights, you're shut down by 4:30 or 5 o'clock in many parts of the country.
Sleep specialist Karen Johnson says while that sounds good on paper, it leads to days feeling even shorter.
Problem is if we do that into the winter, then it gets really dark in the morning. Sun would rise after 8 a.m. for anywhere from 2 to 4 months. And when we've tried that twice in the past, it was extremely unpopular.
What we're switching to now is called permanent standard time. And that's the one doctors and scientists generally prefer, as they say it's better for our sleep patterns and mental health.
When we live on daylight savings time, we're more misaligned with the sun, which actually has effects throughout the whole time on our health, our mood, our safety, how our brain functions. And so that's why the science community really wants us to end it with permanent standard time.
For now, like it or not, the tradition continues. Matt Murphy, Fox News.
Well, it'll definitely be interesting to see if anything really comes out of this, if there will be a shift.
Oh, I know. This has been a debate for, 15, 20 years now. And typically it comes up, though, when we spring forward. When you're losing that hour of sleep, that's when everybody's like, okay, this really stinks. You don't hear that much about it when we fall back, though, and get the extra hour of sleep. But still, it's inconvenient. But, it is what it is.
Yep. There you go.
Figure something out at some point. Well, let's take a quick look outside first with our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. We got cloudy skies, got wet roadways, and we've still got scattered showers and storms out there. And same from the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Right over Skywatch Storm Tracker. So we have, again, scattered showers, a few more thunderstorms now beginning to develop across parts of Washington and Nevada counties into northeastern Oklahoma. Now, some good news is we've had, up until just a few minutes ago, a couple of different tornado warnings that went out with this line of storms here. Those have all expired, but that's just a sign as how volatile the atmosphere is. You may go outside and think, boy, this isn't the day. But it is, unfortunately, enough shear, enough lift that we are getting this line of storms. So this is the one that we first have to watch, and then we're expecting additional severe weather as we head into the late afternoon and early evening hours. Between here and there, scattered showers and storms all through the morning, just like we've seen the last couple of days. By noon, we could start seeing some stronger storms. The 8th center, eventually Fredonia, Chanute, maybe by 1. By about 3, 4 o'clock, that's when our severe threat's expected to really begin to ramp up across the area with a line of storms, and it will really intensify, say, between 3 and 7 this evening before we're left with just a few scattered showers and storms behind that. So here's a look at that outlook, and this is what I'm talking about. For November, it's a bit unusual. We have a low to enhanced risk for tornadoes, and then these hatch marks indicating the possibility of a strong tornado or two that'd be EF2 or greater. The greatest severe risk still is focused along and south of the I-44 corridor at this point. We do have a low to elevated hail risk out there, but then the other concern comes in to the enhanced wind risk in that same zone where we could be dealing with straight line winds 70 miles an hour or greater. Again, with the greatest risk coming after 3 o'clock. So a lot to keep an eye on. You got to keep it with KOAM Plus, KOAM on the air, and of course our YouTube page and the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Doug Heddy will be here tracking all that. 62 Joplin and 63 in Pittsburgh. Around the region, the temperature's not moving much, nor are they expected to do so through the morning. Low mid 60s out there, and just going to kind of hover in that zone. Highs today will eventually make the low 70s. Scattered storms through the day, and then the severe threat gradually increasing after noon. So again, something to keep an eye on. Well, more on that thunderstorm threat, the timing of those storms, and what we're looking at after the storms here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, see you soon, Chris. Thanks. Well, Quincy Jones, a renowned music producer for many icons, has died. Jones's publicist says he died last night surrounded by family at the age of 91. Now, the longtime producer is best known for his work on Michael Jackson's Thriller album, as well as collaborations with other stars throughout the years, from Frank Sinatra to Ray Charles. Now, Jones was the feature of multiple documentaries, including one by his daughter, actress Rashida Jones. His publisher says Jones will be celebrated for the unique life he lived. Well, first responders on scene at a serious crash Friday night in Newton County. Missouri Highway 43 north of Seneca was closed following the accident. A woman has been reported as deceased after the vehicle burst into flames. She was driving a 2023 Chevy Trailblazer southbound. The female passenger in the car suffered minor injuries. Reports say a northbound Acura SUV crossed the center line and collided with the Chevy SUV. At least 6 people were hurt as severe thunderstorms and possible tornadoes moved across parts of Oklahoma early yesterday. You can see some of the damage in Oklahoma City, where several homes and structures were hit, along with power lines, trees, and traffic signals. Now, those injured were hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries, and about 95,000 customers across the state were without power yesterday morning. City fire crews responded to a number of flooded vehicles, and there was heightened concern over the tornado threat this week, given how prolific a year it's been for twisters in the U.S. Well, friends of a woman who passed away just over a week ago gathered Saturday to honor her memory in a special way. A week ago, Thursday, Abby Zeb, a local runner, was struck in the crosswalk at North Main and Murphy Boulevard. She died of her injuries. Her friends and family joined together Saturday morning in Landreth Park to finish her run from the night she died. Abby was training for the upcoming Tulsa Marathon, and she was about a half mile from home. So her friends gathered to finish her run that evening.
You know, finish what you started, and it's just very impactful to do that for Abby, to make sure that that intersection got crossed in her name.
She leaves behind her parents and 3 sons and hundreds of friends in the running community. Services for Abby Zeb are today at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Joplin. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, we'll hear how you can shop local while getting into the holiday spirit. Well, now that Halloween is over, most people are getting ready for some holiday shopping. Daisy Flood from the Pittsburgh Area Chamber of Commerce is with us this morning with an invitation to do a little holiday shopping with some local vendors. Good morning. Happy to have you. Thanks so much for being with us. So talk to me about this event going on. It's the Ladies' Night holiday shopping for this year.
Yeah, Holiday Shopping Ladies' Night. It's coming up this Thursday, November 7th from 5:30 to 8 p.m. At Kansas Crossing Casino. And so we just get a bunch of vendors into the casino to just show you kind of what they're offering this holiday season.
Fantastic. And now these are local vendors. So talk to me a little bit, especially during the holiday season, how important it is to support local businesses.
It's more important now than ever to shop local. We really want to use this event not only as a fun way to kick off the holiday season, but to remind people in the Pittsburgh area how, supporting your friends, your neighbors, your community is so important. And we want to make sure that people know that you can get these goods in Pittsburgh without having to shop online or going out of state.
Absolutely. And so if ladies would like to attend this event, talk to me about how much the ticket prices are and kind of what the night entails.
Yeah, tickets are $25. They're available on our website at pittsburghareachamber.com, or can call the chamber and get tickets. That includes drinks, appetizers, and exclusive holiday shopping.
Oh, fantastic. And so these local vendors, talk to me about some of the ones that might be there and just kind of the things that are going to be on display for people to check out.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have local boutiques, we have bakeries, we have chiropractors, we have really a wide variety. We have more vendors this year than ever. We've got 22 booths for everyone to shop. So we're really excited for that variety, and we're excited to see people out and kick off the holiday season.
Absolutely. Now this event will be in just a few days, starting at 5:30 on November 7th at the Kansas Crossing Casino. Anything else folks might need to know when they want to come out?
Just check out our tickets on our website, $25. You can call the chamber or visit us at pittsburghareachamber.com.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you. Can't believe the holiday season is finally here. Well, stick around. We'll be right back with more right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 7:15 on this Alert Day Monday, coming up on 7:16. All right, Skywatch Storm Tracker. Scattered showers, few thunderstorms out there this morning. Starting on the Missouri side, against some moderate rain from around the Joplin area, northwest of Neosho, stretching toward Miami, Lamar, Greenfield, Stockton, and just outside of Nevada. And of course, we got some moderate showers, Columbus, Pittsburgh as well. Heading down to northeast Oklahoma, we're starting to see a few more thunderstorms begin to develop out here. So we've got these ones just to the northwest of Skiatook, outside of Bartlesville, Newada. One getting ready to roll into Craig County, just to the west of Veneta. And of course, that moderate rain around Miami. Grove, Jay, you're having an opportunity to at least temporarily dry out before more showers and storms roll in. Kansas dried out briefly. They had these little showers off in the southeastern portion of the area. And then we've got new showers from Garnett, Iola, Chanute, Fredonia, Sedan, Howard, just outside of Independence. All of this activity still lifting north and east. Then we're watching this line of storms. Now, earlier this morning, tornado warning for Oklahoma City. That expired at 6:45, and another one near the Guthrie area, just to the west of Stillwater. That one expired at 7. And as you can see, no active warnings or anything now, but this line has continued to intensify and is lifting off roughly to the northeast. So we're going to show you that in just a moment. Also the rain. We have flood watches across most of the area through this evening, and this is why. This is just the last 24 hours. We've got rainfall totals for a good portion of the area. Anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rain have fallen across parts of Missouri, southern Kansas, and northeastern Oklahoma, hence the flood watches. So this line is what we've got to watch closely, because it's tried to ramp up. It's kind of calmed down. Like I said, no active warnings with it at this moment, but it is getting closer and closer to our area, and in the next couple, 3 hours, it will very likely be pushing into the southwestern portions of our area. Then we got to watch what's going to happen behind it as we get another round of thunderstorms that will be severe. Here's our concerns right now. We have a low to enhanced tornado risk, which for November is odd. It's very rare. We can get severe weather, of course, any time of the year, but to have levels this high in November, it is a bit rare. We also have these hatch marks. Those hatch marks indicating the possibility of a strong tornado, so EF2 or greater. It's not to say it will happen. It's just simply saying the atmosphere is primed for that to be a possibility. Hail risk is low to elevated across the area. Most of us in that low risk. The next greater concern is the enhanced wind risk. And all of this, the greatest severe threat at this point seems to be right along and to the south of the I-44 corridor. And in that enhanced zone, we're talking straight line winds 70, 80 miles an hour out there. So a lot to keep an eye on. So here's the future track. Scattered showers and storms like we're experiencing right now will continue through the morning. Then we got to see what that line in Oklahoma does and when it gets here. Now by 3, we could have our first round of severe weather rolling through right as kids are getting out of school from Fort Scott, Pittsburgh down toward Columbus, and then off toward Bartlesville, Coffeyville, and Parsons. So you've got to keep a close eye on this. Keep a close eye on what the school districts say as well if they're going to end up keeping any students during severe weather events. By 5, this is where the severe threat ramps up, and it ramps up quickly, and that's going to be the other thing. These storms are going to escalate in rapid fashion, and so between 3 and 5, this line really intensifies, and that's when it brings that greater severe threat, again, along and south of the I-44 corridor, so a lot to watch out there as we head through today, and of course, you'll be able to find the severe weather updates, our YouTube page, KOAM Plus, and of course, over the air as well, and with the Skywatch weather app, so make sure you have all of those things. For today, aside from the severe threat, we have the highs into the low 70s, non-thunderstorm winds gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour. Breezy again tomorrow, a few lingering showers in the morning, clearing out, low 60s. Temperatures not bad as we head into the weekend with additional rain chances Thursday through Saturday. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, the holiday season is upon us, and what a better way to celebrate than with a little holiday shopping. Now, Amanda Davis from the Grove Area Chamber of Commerce is with us this morning with an invitation to the Shop Grand Lake and Grove Merchants Christmas Open House this weekend. Welcome to you, Amanda. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you.
Great morning. We always enjoy our time with you guys, and I just wanted to take an opportunity today to come and talk about this weekend in Grove.
Fantastic, yes.
Around Grand Lake. It's our it's a traditional, it's a huge weekend for us. So it's our Merchants Open House weekend, Friday and Saturday. More than I think we're at 31 or 32 right now. Merchants that are participating with specials all weekend.
Absolutely. So yes, this is all weekend starting November 8th to the 9th, and then it'll be time for people to come and Christmas shop, but you're also handing out tickets for a very special prize that customers can come and get.
We are. So for the first time, we are launching a new program. It's called Shop Grand Lake. We will be issuing tickets. They come in for every $25 they spend, they get one ticket, and then they can collect tickets beginning on November the 8th. And then that will go all the way until December the 5th. December 5th, Then December 6th, we will have a ginormous event. Downtown Grove, we will light the tree, do everything, and we will hand out $10,000 cash that night.
That's incredible. Definitely want to make your way over to Grove to take part in all of that. So talk to me a little bit about some of the vendors that are going to be there, and also just how important it is to support local businesses this time of year during the holiday season.
This is one of our things that we love to do at the Chamber of Commerce. It's just our way to really try to coordinate and give back to so many of our members. We have almost 400 members, and a lot of them depend on the foot traffic and holiday shopping. So this weekend, you know, folks will be able to take advantage of great discounts. We have such a charming downtown corridor there in Grove, and just really around the entire lake region. So everybody, they roll out the red carpet for this weekend. It's a very, very big deal in our community.
Fantastic. Sounds so exciting. Now, when do all the festivities for this weekend begin, and where can folks come out if they'd like to take part in this?
So they can jump on the Chamber Facebook page, which is Grove Area Chamber, and it will have the full flyer that shows all the discounts for the entire weekend, and everything will kick off when the stores open on Friday.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being with us, Amanda. Definitely seems like an incredible event. Very exciting to kick off the holiday season. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:27. I'm Elise Snowy. Now, the Knoll Marshal's office is asking for the public's help regarding a fatal hit and run. Around 6:50 Saturday evening, the Marshal's office responded to a call at the intersection of South Kings Highway and Hall Ridge Road of a pedestrian who had been possibly hit by a motor vehicle. When deputies arrived, they found the male who was struck by a motor vehicle, but no vehicle was found. First responders began to assess the victim, but he was confirmed deceased. The Knoll Marshal's office is asking that if you have any information regarding the hit and run, to contact the Marshal's office. Well, a tractor trailer crashes into an overpass early Sunday morning in Joplin. The accident happened at the overpass near Glendale Road and I-44. The tractor trailer was traveling westbound on Glendale Road when it tried to go under the 10-foot 8-inch clearance. The trailer's height was 13 feet 6 inches and was destroyed as it went under. The bridge itself is not damaged, but the semi is wedged. Glendale Road from the main street to McIndoe Park is closed. Travelers are asked to take the main street to East 44th to Jackson Avenue. The driver was not injured. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, Pitt State's Hispanic Bandana performed its first outdoor concert at Pritchett Pavilion in Pittsburgh Sunday. The concert is being held to celebrate Dia de los Muertos, also known as the Day of the Dead, a traditional Latin American holiday that celebrates their family members who have passed on.
We've been trying to share our culture, our roots, and just being able to just connect with the community, and that they can celebrate with us what we do in our home countries.
The Day of the Dead also celebrates pets who have passed on, as they're also a part of the family. With the Christmas season approaching quick, people in Pittsburgh's Drag the Gut community came together to gather toys for less fortunate kids. The event occurs annually, and this year is the 40th anniversary of the toy donations.
We're getting toys for the poor kids from Crawford County. You know, Crawford County happens to be the poorest county in the state. And we take them to the Salvation Army, and every year we've been doing this. I have not missed a one since it started.
Well, instead of the 15 motorcycles that started it all 40 years ago, hundreds of them swarmed the parking lot between Applebee's and Verizon, collecting unopened toys to be delivered to kids in need throughout the season. Now let's check in with Chris with a look at the forecast.
Thunderstorms out there. We've got rain falling in Pittsburgh. You can see it on our camera in downtown Pittsburgh right now. And we've had rain showers, of course, into the Joplin area as well. You can see it from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline with those cloudy skies out there. Skywatch Storm Tracker, scattered showers. We're starting to see thunderstorm activity building right around the Bartlesville area. Some good news is that one line of storms that's out to the west, or off to our southwest, that had initially a couple of tornado warnings with it, is showing signs of weakening a bit. So that's some good news, but we're still going to keep a close eye on it, as it'll be lifting in to northeast Oklahoma and southeastern Kansas here within the next couple of hours. So we'll watch that closely, but at least, like I said, some good news. It's been showing some weakening, but still bears watching. And we're seeing, of course, more development taking place across northeastern Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas. It's lifting off to the north. All right, into the afternoon we go. We're going to have scattered showers and storms through the day. Now, depending on how much instability can build, that's going to be the biggest determining factor in our severe threat today. But at least right now, between 3 and 7 looks to be our best window for the more significant severe weather with this line of storms as it rolls off to the east later this evening. And as such, we do have a low to enhanced tornado risk across the area, with these hatch marks indicating the possibility of a strong tornado. Not saying it will happen, but it's a possibility. And the greatest severe threat at this point is along and south of the I-44 corridor. A low to elevated hail risk, and then our next major concern, though, is this enhanced wind risk in that same zone where we could see damaging straight line winds 70, 80 miles an hour. But again, all of this is contingent on how much instability we can build in as we head into the afternoon. Quick look at temperatures: 62, both Joplin and Pittsburgh. And of course, we've got the rain showers out there to contend with as well. Temperatures low to mid 60s out there, and we are not anticipating any big changes in the temperatures through the morning. They're going to kind of hover out there before they'll eventually start to warm this afternoon and eventually make it into the low 70s. Again, scattered storms all day, with the severe threat gradually increasing afternoon, and the best chance for severe weather between 3 and 7 at this point is what we're looking at. Of course, we'll keep you updated with any severe weather alerts out there. We'll have them on KOAM Plus, our YouTube channel, the KOAM Skywatch weather app, and of course, Doug Heddy will be here watching these storms as well. We'll have another more in-depth look at your forecast, break down the timing of these storms and the severe threat here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Las Vegas police are rolling out new tech in hopes of saving the lives of their officers and their canines. In Consumer Watch this morning, there are new changes coming to retirement plans in 2025. The IRS said Friday it's increasing the amount individuals can contribute to their 401k and other retirement plans to account for inflation. Now, the government agency is increasing the annual contribution limit for 401k plans by $500 from the current $23,000 to $23,500 $6,500 for the 2025 tax year. It's also maintaining the IRA catch-up contribution limit for individuals aged 50 and over at $1,000 for 2025. Federal law enforcement officials warn of deep fake videos about security for the upcoming election. The Federal Bureau of Investigation says at least 2 videos online falsely claim to be from the FBI. Now, the agency says one video claims groups are committing ballot fraud, while another promotes false information about Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff. The FBI says election integrity is one of its highest priorities, and it's working with local law enforcement to combat any election threats. A new auto data industry info says price differences between new cars and used vehicles are the widest gap ever. Edmunds, the auto industry information site, says in a new analysis that the average price difference between new and pre-owned cars is now at $20,000 for the first time ever. Edmunds says used car prices continue to drop, but there's still high demand for new cars. While weather can be unpredictable, extreme and deadly storms are shaping up to slam communities around the world more frequently. That's the message from scientists who have been analyzing the influence of human-caused climate change. Fox News' Ted Lindner investigates.
The effects of human-caused climate change are giving new meaning to the saying, when it rains, it pours. In the wake of recent catastrophic flooding events in the U.S. and around the world, scientists say this destruction could become more frequent in the future. According to Andrew Winters of the University of Colorado Boulder, climate change is setting the stage for weather patterns like rainstorms to become more extreme.
While the baseline patterns and processes are still the same to produce these extreme events, you're basically supercharging the environments that allow them to occur so that you can take a previous event that happened in a former climate and make it more likely or more dramatic than it might have been without human-caused climate change.
These warnings come as eastern portions of Spain are still in critical condition. This after communities last week were pelted with about 1 year's worth of rain in just 8 hours. More than 200 people have been reported killed so far.
Extraordinary amounts of precipitation.
Here in the States, recovery also continues across North Carolina communities decimated by Hurricane Helene, which also unleashed critical flooding.
The amount of precipitation that occurred in North Carolina was so far outside the bounds of what anyone had experienced.
Meanwhile, the findings of a recent United Nations report are spelling trouble. Officials say the globe is on track for significantly more warming unless world powers dramatically curb fossil fuel use and production.
This report shows annual greenhouse gas emissions at an all-time high, rising 1.3% last year. They must fall 9% each year to 2030 to limit global temperature rise.
Ted Lindner, Fox News.
And those are our top consumer stories. Let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 7:41, about to be 7:42 on this Monday morning. It is an alert day in the 4 states for the risk of severe weather as we head into the afternoon hours. Right now, we have scattered showers across a good portion of the area, and we're starting to see a few more thunderstorms developing out there as well. Got some moderate rainfall from Columbus, Pittsburgh, Joplin, Carthage, Lamar, Greenfield, Stockton, and getting ready to roll into the Nevada area. And then as we head down into northeastern Oklahoma, some light rain around North Miami, and then we head back to the west. So between Craig and Newada counties, we've got some heavier rain starting to develop. A few rumbles of thunder out there right over Newada and to the northwest of Anita. And then some more thunderstorm activity just to the south of Coffeyville, southwest of Coffeyville, around the Bartlesville area, stretching down to Skiatook and northwest of Claremore. Into Kansas, some moderate rainfall in the western counties, Greenwood, Elk, and Chautauqua counties, and rolling into Fredonia now. And Yates Center, you're up next. And we've got these little bands of showers just to the west of Fort Scott, going into Parsons and Coffeyville, and then again some across Crawford, Cherokee County, so again including Pittsburgh, Columbus, Baxter Springs, those areas as well. Then off to our south and west, we have this line of storms that, well, It had a couple of tornado warnings with it this morning. No warnings with it now. Unfortunately, while it was starting to weaken a bit, it is trying to re-intensify out there, and it is lifting off to the north and east at about 45 miles an hour. That'll put it into, say, Bartlesville right around 10:30, 10:45 this morning. If it continues its track and it holds together. So it's what we're going to have to keep an eye on, because if it does hold that path, it'll put it around the Joplin area in Pittsburgh around 2:30, between 2:30 and 3. So that's going to line up with our severe threat. We also have flooding concerns. As you can see, over the last just 24 hours, how much rain has been received. A good portion of the area getting anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rainfall. And so we do have flood watches out there we've got to worry about as well. And now as we look, so here's the other line of storms that we've got to watch that I do believe is going to be our primary severe threat. And you can already see now new severe thunderstorm warnings with this activity also lifting northeast. And that, I think, is going to be what brings us our greater severe risk along and south of I-44. And this is what that looks like right now. We have that low to elevated, and enhanced tornado threat. And the hatch marks indicating the possibility of a strong tornado. That'd be EF2 or greater. Not saying it will happen, but in that zone, the atmosphere at this point looking to be primed for strong to severe thunderstorms and that possibility of a strong tornado. The greatest severe threat at this point still along and south of I-44. That's not to say we won't see strong or severe storms outside of that zone, but that's where the greatest risk for the more significant severe weather is. Low to elevated hail risk, and then again our next concern, that wind risk, where in the enhanced zone we could see damaging winds 70, 80 miles an hour out there. Future track showing us the scattered showers and storms that will continue through the morning into the afternoon. Then, unfortunately, right as kids are getting out of school, some of us could be contending with severe weather as early as 3 o'clock. So we're talking Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, down toward Columbus, and maybe even this activity rolling into Bartlesville and parts of northeastern Oklahoma around Coffeyville, stretching to Parsons. So again, keep an eye on school postings, keep an eye on school alerts. If there's any severe weather, they may, of course, keep the kids inside a little longer after dismissal time. So a lot to keep an eye on. Between 3 and 5, that line really ramps up. This is where our greatest severe risk starts to develop across parts of Kansas and into Oklahoma, rolling into Missouri. And by 8, it is out of here. So a lot to keep an eye on. Make sure you stay here with KOAM. We'll have the latest on the severe weather watches, warnings, anything that pops up as we head through the evening. After that, though, again, low 70s today, low 60s tomorrow. A few lingering showers in the morning. Not a bad Wednesday. More rain chances as we head into the weekend. We'll be back with more right after this.
Well, a new high-tech crime-fighting tool is being used in the Las Vegas Valley for the first time.
The Las Vegas Metro Police Department says it has the potential to save lives of both officers and their canine partners.
This is RoboDog, the four-legged machine about the size of a golden retriever. This is the Spot model, built by Boston Dynamics. It doesn't have an official name from Metro just yet.
We just call it the Spot Dog or the Boston, but no nickname yet. It hasn't earned it yet.
Like a puppy, it is in training, but it can already do all sorts of impressive tricks. With its snake-like head that functions as an arm, it can fetch. With the command sent via tablet controller, it can spin. And unlike real dogs, it can see in darkness. Its tail is made up of a system of 360-degree cameras, including infrared.
Or I need to see if I can detect somebody hiding behind something, I can go to that infrared mode and it should be able to see them.
We met the RoboDog while it was out for a walk at National Night Out in the Arts District, where other dogs were not so sure about it, but the kids were big fans. Its main handler, a big fan too.
When I started this, I never thought we'd have this type of technology.
Detective Breck Hodson has been working with the RoboDog since it arrived a few months ago.
I'm controlling, but it is also helping me out by reading the environment itself and avoiding certain things.
The RoboDog gets its commands via Wi-Fi, but there's also a backup network.
A mesh network radio system is on any of our tactical deployments to allow me to operate it at a further distance and longer range.
Like a real police dog, RoboDog can detect things like explosives.
And I can attach different types of sensors and monitors to it, and then we can see what we have.
RoboDog's main job, SWAT operations, to go in first during standoffs and protect the lives of officers and real dogs from suspects ready to attack.
You did so good, buddy. You did good. You're a good boy.
Back in March, Metro's K-9 officer Enzo was sent in during a standoff at a motel and was stabbed multiple times. A police helicopter rushing him to a vet across the valley, saving his life. But now, RoboDog can be used in these most dangerous situations.
If we can introduce it without having to introduce a human being, so a fellow officer or even a canine officer, and we're going to try and do that.
Massachusetts State Police say their RoboDog was shot several times during a standoff at a home earlier this year. And that distraction allowed them to throw tear gas inside, leading the suspect to surrender. Though the life of the RoboDog was over, no real dogs nor officers were harmed. The Robo Police dog successfully completing its mission.
Have anybody seen Terminator?
I mean, maybe.
Skynet was developing things like this, and they were subtle until it became self-aware, and then realized that we were developing it to, put it in harm's way.
Yeah, that might be a little too advanced for me this morning.
Just saying. I don't know.
But you don't know. I don't know.
Well, what we do know is we do have an alert day today for the threat for severe weather. We're going to take a quick look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Scattered showers, starting to see a few more thunderstorms develop out there. These will continue across the area, so we've got them in Missouri, Stockton, Greenfield, Lamar, Nevada, Carthage. Another round coming into Joplin, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Fort Scott. We get some heavier rain down by Pineville, eventually making it into Monette, Mount Vernon, and Cassville. Off to the Oklahoma side, thunderstorm coverage increasing. Bartlesville, Skiatook, toward Newada, north of Anita. Miami, you're dry. Grove, you're dry. Jay, not so much, but you will be. Southeast Kansas, moderate rainfall. Yates Center, Fredonia, Howard, and then eventually going into Iola, Chinook, Burlington, Garnett. And then we have these other showers from Fort Scott, Parsons, down toward Independence and Coffeyville. And we've got this line of storms that, has now continued to stretch out in development. And this will be rolling into the Bartlesville area within the next 2 or 3 hours and eventually into our entire area as the morning progresses. Of course, flooding concerns out there. As you can see in the last 24 hours, radar estimates put rain totals anywhere from 5 to 10 inches for a good portion of the area. But that next line that's back behind this one, it's got that severe thunderstorm warning with it. That's what we've also got to watch as we're looking at an enhanced severe threat across the area, primarily along and south of I-44, where we have that enhanced risk for a tornado or two, hatch marks indicating maybe a strong tornado out there, and an enhanced risk for wind in that same area, damaging straight line winds 70, 80 miles an hour. We'll, of course, track these storms for you as we go through the morning and afternoon. We'll be back with more right after this.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Missouri Highway 43 north of Seneca was closed following the accident. The serious crash Friday night. Now, the preliminary investigation reports that a Springfield woman traveling northbound crossed the center line and struck a vehicle traveling south. The crash closed the highway for about 4 hours. The woman traveling south suffered fatal injuries after her vehicle burst into flames. At least 6 people were hurt as severe thunderstorms and possible tornadoes moved across parts of Oklahoma early Sunday. About 95,000 customers across the state were without power yesterday morning. City fire crews responded to multiple flooded vehicles, and there was heightened concern over the tornado threat this week, given how prolific a year it's been for twisters in the U.S. And friends of Abby Zeb, who passed away just over a week ago, gathered Saturday to honor her memory by finishing her run. A week ago Thursday, Abby Zeb, a local runner, was struck in the crosswalk at North Main and Murphy Boulevard. She died of her injuries. Abby was training for the upcoming Tulsa Marathon, and she was about a half mile from home. She leaves behind her parents, 3 sons, and hundreds of families of friends in the running community.
All right, we have our alert day today. Strong to severe thunderstorms expected afternoon with the best chances between 3 and 7, really along and south of the I-44 corridor where all hazards are possible. So make sure you keep it tuned here to KOAM. Have the KOAM Skywatch weather app. We'll be monitoring these storms. We'll eventually make highs in the low 70s. Non-thunderstorm wind gusts out of the southeast at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. Severe threat wraps up by, again, about 7, 8 at the latest, and we'll be dealing with some scattered showers and storms after that. Low to mid-50s tonight. A few lingering showers, maybe a rumble of thunder tomorrow morning. Much cooler, low 60s. A dry and nice day on Wednesday. More rain chances into the weekend. We do have some days out there where temperatures are a bit above normal, but all in all, not too bad. But again, we do have to keep an eye on these severe thunderstorms later today.
Absolutely. Well, an angry-looking Mina bird has gone viral after photobombing a motorway video camera north of Auckland, New Zealand. Now, the clip was posted on social media by the New Zealand Transport Agency and was captured in early October. Wow.
I did see this. According to the owners of the video, the Mina bird is a pest in New Zealand.
Okay.
It's violent towards native birds and apparently traffic cameras, destroying their nests, eating native fruit, and taking ownership of other birds' territory. And you can see he's not too happy about that camera.
No, look at that.
He is angry for
It kind of reminds me of the bee on the Cornell Complex camera.
Yes,
that was happening
that bee,
over the
man,
summer.
I'm telling you, it was over there. Well, thank you for letting us put the good in your morning. Back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.